Hey everyone, I'm Hector, and today I'm going to be reacting to my first ever short format video that I posted. Let's get right into it. So I've been making Reels / TikTok videos for almost 2 years now, and I thought it was time to look back at my very first video. Let's get the embarrassing part out of the way and go ahead and play it back.
Hey guys, Hector here from the Tech Desk. I'm just going to show you a few things that you might not know how to do with your iPhone. Many of you might know that if you press the volume up and the power/Siri button, that you take a screenshot. However, you might not know that if you go to edit it and you draw a circle and you hold that circle, it will draw a perfect circle. You can do the same thing with arrows and hearts and stars.
At the moment, Facebook did like a 30-second cap on all Reels. So I remember that my Reel got cut short because I think I had like 5 more seconds on it. But anyways, that was a little rough, but it was as spontaneous and as real as it gets. I actually didn't realize that I put a filter on the video until I was almost done editing it. I think at the time I was editing in the Instagram app. I remember realizing that the color was off, but I didn't want to re-record it. I knew if I had to start all over, there would be a good chance that I would never post it. So there it went, out into the internet with some random filter on it. Even with me not knowing what I was doing, and with a random filter on it, the video did exceptionally well. It got over 2.5 million views, which I have to admit was completely unexpected and also very hard to replicate. I remember having all the doubts in the world. However, I knew I had a bunch of iPhone / Apple knowledge in my head, and I wanted to share it. At first, it started with my local community in mind. I wanted to create more value for the people that came in my shop. However, just after a few weeks, this video had 1 million views on Facebook, and I had over 25,000 followers. A month after that, the video was nearing 2 million views and my followers had also doubled. That's when I started to realize that my initial goal was too small. At this point, I had a community of people that amounted to be more than the population of where I live. And they were following me. I continued making videos and eventually realized that YouTube was the next step. So here I am, starting another adventure. I only have a few videos on YouTube so far, but by the end of 2024, I want to be at or over 100 videos. It's going to be hard work, but with a little dedication, anything is possible. Anyway, enough of the story. Let's get into how I use this trick on a daily basis. So first, let's talk about how to actually make the shapes. The secret is that when you're done drawing the shape you want to draw, not to let the screen go and hold until the shape becomes a perfect shape. Also, you have to make sure that the initial drawing connects. Let me show you what I'm talking about. First, let's take a screenshot and give ourselves a blank canvas. If you don't see the tools down here, make sure to tap on the markup icon right up here. Now let's start off with drawing a star. So you're going to draw the star, and once you're done, don't let it go, and as you can see, the perfect star will pop up. Now let's draw a square. And as you can see, if you don't connect it, the shape won't form. Let's try that again. Let's draw a square, but this time we'll actually connect. And you see immediately, it creates a nice square. You can draw stars, hearts, circle. Well, that's not a circle, but circles, ovals, rectangles, squares. Let's give ourselves a little bit more space. Let's erase all of those. You can draw clouds. You can draw stairs. And the list goes on. I use this trick in 3 different scenarios the most. At work, to point things out during our pre- and post-diagnostic assessment, to point something out in a screenshot or a text, and just for fun, of course. Let's start off with how I use this at work. There's times that devices come in for repair, but there's other damage to the phone that we have to take pictures of and notate. For this, I use a lot of rectangles, ovals, and arrows. For example, in this picture, I want to make sure that we notate that the phone has been exposed to liquid. This is the liquid contact indicator, and once it's bright red, it lets us know that liquid has definitely been around. Another good sign is corrosion around the connectors. And I wanted to point out that the battery connector as well as the LCD connector both had corrosion on it. So as you can see, I have arrows going to all of those, and then of course circles and ovals to point out the areas that I'm actually talking about. So instead of having to look at the picture and figure out what I was trying to point out, now it's very evident that I was pointing out liquid damage in the areas that had the actual corrosion on them. Now let's talk about how I use this a lot to point something out in a screenshot or in a text message. Let's say someone is telling you that you never told them what time you were going to meet. You can go back into your message thread and then look for the text that you sent. Take a screenshot of it and then use this trick to draw out a perfect circle or a rectangle around it and draw an arrow right to it so they can't miss it. Let's say I told them we were going to meet at 5, but they don't remember. I'll just go ahead and take a screenshot of this. I'll go ahead and resize it and then draw a nice little rectangle around my text and an arrow pointing the time that I said. There we go. Now there's no excuse. Just tap on done. You can save it to photos. Now let's say you're celebrating something. So in the screenshot or the picture, you want a bunch of stars to signify that you're celebrating with them. If you want to make it extra special, maybe you draw a heart around it for, a loved one or a significant other. This trick is not exclusive to screenshots. Like I mentioned in the video, you can do it on pictures. You would just find the picture that you're trying to draw on, tap on edit, and then make sure you tap on the markup icon. Once here, you'll see your tools, and then you can start, like I said, celebrating with them. This was my dad's graduation, so I just want to draw a bunch of stars. Yellow wasn't the best color, so let's pick another color. Let's go green. I don't know, I love green. Green, bunch of stars. We're all celebrating and happy. Whoops. There we go. If you want to make it extra special, maybe you draw a heart just to let them know that you love them. I'm not sure my dad's going to be very happy about this, but I do love him. You can also just show off that you can draw these perfect shapes on their screenshots and not tell them how you did it. This last scenario isn't very nice, so proceed at your own risk. If you would like to help me on this new YouTube adventure, please consider subscribing so I can reach my first 1,000 subscribers. I'll catch you in the next video.